This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. So I know it's been a while since we put out a video, but we have been telling everybody that we've had some big news, and the big news is that we bought a second homestead. I wouldn't call it a second homestead. I guess I would say that we expanded. So we bought our neighbor's property, and so we're super excited to be able to expand and have so many more options. So we're excited to show you around. That's why we haven't put out a video for the last couple weeks or months. The last couple months is because we have been so busy with rearranging things, getting things in order with our house back in town, moving stuff out here, arranging the purchase, just so much going on that we really could not take the time to do a video. And in fact, all the projects came to a screeching halt because if you remember, last time we left off, we were working on the fence. And once this option came up, we realized, whoa, let's wait, because now we have to totally rethink the fence line. And so we just put everything on hold so we could focus on getting this place.
Yeah, so right when, if you ever watched our vacation video of when we went to Wisconsin, and we mentioned on the airplane that we had some exciting news. So we knew about this in July, I think 19th is when we told them we would purchase the property. So here we are on December 10th. So it's a long time in the making of the process to get this property, to get everything taken care of. There was a lot of issues, financing issues, sickness issues, and so it was postponed a few times, and so it's been a minute since we actually knew we were purchasing this property.
Yeah. So the people we bought it from are the neighbors that we've mentioned before who let us use their tractor, and great people, but this just didn't work out for them, and they decided that they needed to move closer to family back in town, and they came to us first with an offer to purchase their property. And really we just couldn't turn it down. So we're going to take some time. We'll give you a look around and see this place. It's quite amazing. There's a lot that comes with this.
And it's going to be a lot of work. There are a lot of reasons too, health reasons, and they're older, that they kind of abandon certain things. And we'll kind of point that out as we go or later on. I don't know if we're going to do that in this video of all the work that we're going to have to put into actually making this, I would say, sustainable or livable, at least in the winter. People can live here, I think, in the summer, but due to heating issues and condensation issues, winter living is not
an option.
It's not an option right now at all. So
we'll just give you a look around. You can see the wonderful property that we just purchased. So we'll give you a tour inside the cabin. I'll let my wife lead the way because really she's the decorator. She's the one that's gonna make this a homey, comfortable environment. So we'll let her lead the way.
all right, so right when you walk in, this is really much the living area. This is the way they had it set up. Me and the previous owner, wife, really have a lot different tastes and decor and stuff. So they had their couch set up like this with a counter. We might have to rearrange a whole bunch of stuff, but this is kind of how they set it up. And so this is what we're going with. This is like our living area, you know, our TV, we're probably gonna mount. And then the sitting area, I really love this. We're gonna have some plants, and then I'm gonna do some painting. I have some swatches here. The chairs are really busy with this busy wall behind me. So everything is this. So this wood right here, the flooring is this, the walls are this, and so I'm just going to kind of brighten it up a little bit and paint some lighter colors. But yeah, this is the sitting area. Like I said, I got a lot of work to do in here. Then this way we come into the bathroom. This all needs to be redone, and there's some things we're gonna have to move around. Again, her decor, having this, I really like the bathtub, this style here. I really like that. We need to fill the wall. We need to finish the wall. The shower and all the faucets are not done yet. We just need to finish putting the trim on, and then I think this has got to go. I think we're going to get rid of this. She had everything in her kitchen white enamel with black trim like this. So unfortunately we're not too fond of reaching over the basin to get this. We might just pull all this out and put a new vanity, maybe one that goes the whole length if we can get some counter space. I'm not quite sure. This is still, we just barely got the keys, and we're just gonna have to switch and do a lot of work in here. But as far as the bathroom, we have a lot of work to do. And then my kitchen, this is on wheels. They've got a lot of shelving. I'm thinking about taking off a couple of the shelves. I don't feel like I need that much. I'm just gonna make it my own. And so, and this is random, we might switch this out, but I had this from my store. I sold my store. And so this was actually my front counter back at home. So if you go ahead and move this way, theirs is a 2 shipping container home, where ours over on the next property is only a 1 shipping container home. As you can see, they put the 2 shipping containers together. They wanted to have a mud room. So this is what their mud room looks like. I would love to have a window here. We might even take out the mudroom altogether. Like, I'm not quite sure. This wall, she had this wall filled with mason jars of like cereal, noodles, rice. Like the whole wall was filled with mason jars and labeled with food storage here. So then here's the light switches for the bedroom is on the outside. And here is the one and only bedroom. It's fairly spacious. We have a queen size bed in here. They had a king, but however, they also had a closet over here. If you can see on the floor where they pulled out their closet, and they had their bed rearranged the same way. But I hang a lot of my clothes, so somehow, somewhere, I want a closet to put back in. So now I'll turn it over. That's just kind of like my feminine side of what my thoughts are of the house. But now I'll turn it over to Mark and the construction side. He can kind of go through a little bit of the construction side of what we have to do to this house.
All right, so let me go over the construction of this cabin. So this cabin is a double shipping container cabin. So it's built out of 2 40-foot high cube shipping containers. And the construction of it was lacking in some of the precautions for condensation. So we have a lot that we have to do to make this livable. You guys may remember some of my other videos, quite old actually. A couple of years ago, I talked about the pros and cons of building with a shipping container. So one of the big cons, the big drawbacks of building with a shipping container is condensation. And the only way to stop condensation is you have to do closed cell foam insulation on the inside, or you have to insulate inside the outside. And then also you have to put a roof on top of it so that you have an insulating barrier, a transition area for the hot heat that rises so that it doesn't condensate. And unfortunately, the previous owners didn't construct it in a way to deal with condensation. They framed the inside and they insulated the inside. The one positive is that they used foam board. So the foam board insulation will not soak in the moisture. So that's a good thing. If it was fiberglass insulation, it would all be trashed. Every wall would have to be ripped out because it'd just be a sponge and would hold in all that moisture. It'd be mold everywhere. So what we have to do is we got to insulate the outside and put siding on the outside, and we have to put a roof on top of this. So that's gonna take some time and some money, and it's definitely gonna have to be a priority if anybody's gonna be able to stay in here in the winter. So that's gonna be one of the main things that we have to do. So you can see above me, they have taken some of their ceiling panels down so that it can breathe, because the moisture was just trapped up there. And so now there's open areas so that the walls could breathe. And there hasn't been any condensation in here since last year, when they discovered in the middle of the winter how really bad it was. So everything's dried out, but we cannot use the wood burning stove and actually come and hang out in here in the winter until we get everything insulated on the outside. And so with this property, not only do we get this cabin, but it also has quite a few amenities. So we do have a septic tank now. So my wife is going to be extremely happy to have a flushing toilet. And so that's a great feature. Of course, it has a well on the property, and we have two power poles. So we have lots of options for expansion, and then quite a few outbuildings. So my wife's very excited about that. She now has a washroom with a washer and dryer. So, and then some other amazing things is that with the purchase of the property, they threw in the Kubota tractor with all its attachments, the utility side by side, and also this, I believe it's like a 40-foot triple axle fifth wheel trailer. It's really beautiful. I mean, it's kind of old, looks like it's about 20 years old, but it's in really good condition. So a lot of great things that they threw in with the purchase of the property. So now that you've had a look on the inside, we'll go for a walk around the outside. Let my wife show you some of the outbuildings.
So we just came out of the cabin, the front door, and we're gonna head over right next door to our food storage that came with the property. Now with the food storage, that's going to be really nice for us because we have in here freezers and a full-size fridge and some shelving. So this is going to be really nice, and it's not too far from the main house. We brought this from our home in Brigham City, so we have a chest freezer here that we took out of our garage. We have an upright freezer, and they actually left this for us. And then we have a refrigerator freezer combo that was in our garage that we pulled out. So we'll have plenty of space if we decide to buy a pig or a beef, that we can fill up our freezer, and we have a lot extra space. Back in the small cabin, all we have is the apartment size refrigerator. So this will be super nice to have all this extra whenever we decide to move over, or we can use our utility vehicle to come over and grab food. And then the storage space, I'm gonna get some more cabinets, but these are some food boxes that I'm gonna unload and organize. But we're still just getting started. We still haven't even unloaded all of our trailers. And so getting organized and figuring out where we're going to put everything, and then figuring out all the work that we have to do to get this livable. And then over there, just real quick, that's the fifth wheel. It has a porch. It's very nice. We're not going to do a tour of that just yet. It's just a fifth wheel, and but it is super nice. We're going to walk this way, and so when people come out, that they'll have places to stay. They can stay here, like our kids, and then people can actually stay in the fifth wheel as well. So. Next, right here on the other side of the cabin, we have a 40-foot Connex, and this was really good and what we needed to, because we had to move our entire Brigham City home. So we moved completely out of our city home, and we had to put all that at some place. So this is pretty much, I would say 80% full of our home already. We got a couple more trailers. And then later on, like this summer, when it's warm, I don't like to be too cold or stay out here with no heat. I will come out here and we'll slowly start putting stuff in different buildings in the fifth wheel and get all that organized. I think we have like our picture frames and mirrors and everything is just shoved in there. But we got a lot of work to do in that cabin before we can hang up a lot of stuff. So eventually we'll get to that. Now here we have is my laundry room, which I don't have. If you watched a previous video of me doing laundry, I had a portable wash machine with a spinner on the one side, and I would do laundry either on the front porch, or in the winter I would do laundry in the bathtub, or we would just take our laundry back to our city home and I'll do our laundry there and then bring it back out if we had pants or big items to do. So this is going to be really nice. I can also grab the side-by-side or the utility vehicle and bring my laundry over from our other house to do laundry over here now. So that's super nice. They left their washer and dryer, so I didn't have to take mine from the house. We left ours for the new owners, and they are already moved into our home. We already have somebody living there. So my washer, we have lots of counter space, storage, dryer. It's small, but it's functional. A lot of the stuff came from my laundry room back at the house. So all needs to be gone through and put away certain things, because we just right now have a really big mess. But yeah, so it's going to be really nice. It's actually warm in here. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. The sun coming through the windows warms this up. And we do have a heater here, and I do have a hot water heater right here, so I can wash with hot water. So very thoughtful. Glad they did that. That's going to be really nice to have. This is the laundry room. Now our last outbuilding we have is the pump house. So this has our pump in it, but it's kind of multifunctional. We do have a heater going in this to keep everything warm. This is kind of like our utility shed. We moved all the building supplies that they haven't used in the main cabin. They have some trim, all the trim and stuff they took down to remove the ceiling. As you saw in the other video, they did put all the trim and everything for us to put back up in here. So they gave us all this stuff over here that we're gonna need to piece together. They've written on them. So once we get the ceilings done, the roof on the house, we can kind of piece together the different things to put the walls back up.
All right, so that's pretty much the tour. Lots that we have got to do, a lot of work, and I mean, we're excited, but also, I mean, a little stressed because there's a lot that needs to be done, but we're just gonna take it one step at a time. As you can see over our shoulder, that is our original homestead back there, and we're still gonna continue to stay there. And I mean, that's where Abby's little palace is and all that stuff.
And I think that's the number one question we keep getting asked if we're moving over here. The answer is no. And the reason why we are not moving over here is because the house is still only big enough with 1 bedroom and 1 couple. We have Abby, and we built her house over there. Also, I love my outdoor kitchen. I use my outdoor kitchen, and that is also over there. And 2 more things. Greenhouse. We built the greenhouse 3 times to have my greenhouse.
Yeah.
So my greenhouse and my garden area, that's all fenced in so animals can't get to it. I mean, we did a lot of work for the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So are we moving over here? The answer is
No.
no. We are staying exactly where we're at.
Yep.
But we are going to be working on this, and Abby's 13 right now. So maybe, but then again, I mean, we would have to move my garden area, my greenhouse. I would like another greenhouse. I mean, I guess I could go back and forth. It's just,
We'll still have to figure it out. So, you know, don't hold us to that. I mean, God knows what might change in the future, and we might come up with a reason why we decide to change our mind. So yeah, that wraps it up for this video. So make sure you come back. We're gonna have plenty going on, and we want to keep you guys involved every step of the way.